Hello everyone and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week, well, we do this show every now and again, but tonight we're talking about Makin Gil, or salvaging what you can of it with the way crafting's been the beginning of this expansion. We'll also be covering the patch notes that came out for 4.06, very minor, but worth mentioning on the show since it's very recent. So of course, I am one of your hosts, Michael, Mr. Happy Poveromo. Of course, joining me is Sly, aka Sly the Fox, aka Sly, aka Great Fox, aka Sly actually leveled this crafting before me, Fox, aka you, my boy Blue. How you doing, Sly?
That's not 100%. Because
you listen. No. I have no crafters over 60. You're making your own potions. That's all that matters.
Okay, I'll take a win.
There you go.
I'll take a win.
Dominated last week on Air Zivia, so now you can dominate this week on the crafting front. Feels good, man.
Feels good.
Feels good. And of course, it wouldn't be a show about Making Gil if we didn't bring on a guest who actually had someone like us, and that would be Ashe 10, of course, our normal billionaire guest that we have on the show. How you doing, Ashe?
Doing good. Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
I'm doing swell. I mean, I'm feeling good that I still have most of my money from Heaven's Word. I didn't have to spend too much of it, which is probably not music to your ears, Ashe, because you would have liked me to have had to spend all of it as a non-crafter. All right, so this show, we're going to be, whenever we do a Making Gil show, it's mostly talking about the state of crafting and gathering. As most people know, something Sly and I are not always so apprised to.
I've seen Sly craft recently, so that was good to see.
It's good to see. Sly, what crafters do you have leveled together?
Only right for 70, only Alchemist.
So the overlay screwed up, by the way, so it says at this. It said Ashe before we started the show, but it says at this after I switched over to it, so I'll get that fixed. Continue.
Yeah, only 70 Alchemists. All my gatherers are 70, of course. All pretty much the other crafters are 60, except for Weaver and Culinarian. Weaver's 56, Culinarian's 54. So
I'm surprised you didn't do Culinarian to make your own food as well as your own pots.
Yeah, but repairs. Yeah. Like repairs first.
But that's good. You have all the 50 skills. Those are the most important.
Yeah, that's really important. It kind of helps out a lot.
All right, Ashe. Before we talk about anything on this show, I ask you one question every single time you're on the show because the number never goes down.
He's capped. It's not going to go down.
No. See, you can be capped, but that doesn't mean you're done making Gil.
True.
Yeah.
So Ashe, how much Gil do you have?
Actually, I've been on a spending spree, so I haven't made much, but 500 millions more than last time we had the show, and last time was 4 billion.
Why do I even try? I don't know.
Why do you even ask?
I really want to know. That's why I ask.
But it just really makes us feel like shit.
Ashe, you understand that like they have other ways to take Gil out of the economy, right? You don't need to do that for everyone else because you're keeping your server's economy where it is, pretty much.
Okay, I've come to the conclusion. Okay, you know I guess it's like the 4th sluice in Uznair where you see the money. Well, no. It's actually the 7th chamber.
Yeah, it's always the 7th chamber.
Yeah, where you see the money just like coming out.
That's Ashe's bedroom. We know.
Yeah.
The 7th chamber in both. Well, see, here's the thing. Aquapolis was his house in 3.0, and now his new house is the Lost Canals of Uznair.
The Lost Canals is my retainer's bedroom.
Why does your retainer get a pet guardian on the 7th floor, and your bedroom in Aquapolis doesn't?
Like they have 4 guardians.
Well, it depends, because each time you go into the Lost Canals, it's a different retainer's
Different
bedroom.
garden.
No, it's a different retainer's bedroom. You don't know which one you're getting into. So that's why it's a different guardian. It's their spirit animal. That's what it is. I know how this works. All right. Well, you're actually, you know what, Sly? You're the one who's actually done crafting. I'm gonna let you take the reins a lot on this show. I feel like you've earned that right as proving me wrong and leveling your crafters. I have more of them at 60, but you at least have one that you have at 70 and are self-sufficient with it.
But do you have your gatherers up at least?
I have 2 of my gatherers. I don't have fishing.
Why?
Because it sucks.
Well, it does. It does. We'll
I can't wait for him to tell me how much money I could be making with fishing.
Actually, fishing is not bad for the sands, the Dusklight, for potions and food.
I've been doing that with ephemeral nodes on occasion.
Ephemeral nodes is good, but I find that spearfishing is way faster to get the sands.
All scads.
Yeah, the scads.
So now do you see why I think you've earned the right to take the reins, Sly?
Yep.
There you go.
So before we get into actual money making and everything, like it's been a while and we haven't gotten your opinion on Stormblood in general. What do you how do you feel about it so far? What do you like? What don't you like?
Well, what I don't like is that crafting is really easy now.
Saw that coming a mile away.
We were gonna get that. I was gonna get to that in a minute, but go ahead.
Yeah.
It's too easy. You can just macro even 2-star. There's high tier recipes. There is nothing harder, and you can just macro it while watching Netflix. I don't like that. I miss manual crafting.
And see, I used to be like that. Like I was always hands on, even though I fucked up most of my crafts, and then I started using macros. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna go get some false scads, reduce, and just pop on Hulu while I make some potions.
Whoa, Hulu. What are you watching on Hulu?
Difficult people.
Just watch Criminal Minds on Netflix. Just watch that instead.
Yeah, but I agree. It's really, really easy, really, really accessible. One question I wanted to ask you, how does this well, we've kind of seen it already, but how does it affect the boards?
Things, back in 3.4 when the new right tier came out, all the new battle gear was, you would see 3 million each piece. Right now, at best, I see 800k.
Damn, 800k still?
Few weeks after the launch, comparing the same time span.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think I got mine for about $1 mil a piece. Well, no, actually, somebody crafted mine. I had a friend craft mine.
I did the same thing. I had someone craft mine day of, and I got it for $1 mil. I got them for $1 mil a piece, pretty much.
Now I will say, well, the ornate, even though it has nothing to do with crafting, the ornates. My ornate chest was.
You bought an ornate chest? Are you shitting me?
It started out at 15 mil, and I got it for 5.
What do you mean? Who was dropping? They were dropping the price?
Wow, that's like free ornate piece. That's like free.
I would have just sold it back. I wouldn't have even used it. I was like, I don't want 90 off stack. Give me the 10 mil back. You got a fucking ornate body piece for 5 mil?
5 mil, holy.
For anyone who doesn't know what an ornate body piece is, if you do Wondrous Tales, which is content from Heavensward that's still relevant now, it can give you the equivalent of a crafted armor piece that has 5 100% slots, which means you could put 5 tier 6 materials
tier
in
6, yeah. Normally you can't even overmelt, or can only do 1.
Yeah. So, Jesus, fuck, man.
Steel.
Yeah,
Steel.
I agree. I 100% agree.
How much did...
I don't know, dude, but it's too late. Your fucking shit's got Spirit Bond on it now. You locked that shit in. All right. Okay.
But speaking of ornate, it still triggers me that there's still Ironworks. Why is Ironworks there in the Wondrous Tales?
In case you want it.
Oh well.
Oh well. I mean, luckily you have a choice, but not forced into it.
Yep, still 5.
I don't know how. That's enough. All right, it's just stupid. Anyway, So I know you've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 12 lately. So while crafting is one thing on your mind, I'm actually curious about how you feel about the rest of Stormblood overall. Like outside of crafting, what else would you say you dislike about Stormblood?
I really, really loved the story. It really felt like a Final Fantasy story to me.
To you. I'd say most of us kind of felt that way. Imagine just like to me. Did you guys not agree? No. It's good. What about Savage and whatnot?
Savage, obviously I'm a Final Fantasy fan, and I have played FF5, so it was like a nostalgia burst for me. I really loved it.
What about the fights themselves?
The fights are really good, the mechanics overall.
Alright.
I don't have a static, but I would have loved to run the Savage version.
Oh, you don't have a static this time around?
This time around, no.
Hey, high five! Me neither. Just so you know, Ashe, and we said we were going to say it at the top of the show and we didn't. Ashe's microphone, the program that we're using, sometimes has issues. So like right there, it didn't go off, but it did lower. But it came back, so it's perfectly fine now. I just wanted people to know that ahead of time if that does happen. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sorry in advance.
Yeah, it'll fix itself within like a few seconds. So just be patient with us, please, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We won't probably have you on again to talk about Gil stuff until after 4.1 or 4.2, depending on like how crafting evolves at those points. So before I let Sly take the raids back, what are you looking forward to in 4.1 based on what you liked or didn't like in 4.0?
I'm looking forward to getting more recipes and specialists being more relevant again. Like right now, specialists, it helps a little, but it's totally obsolete. You don't even need any abilities to HQ everything. Oh, if you remember 2.0 where Omni crafting was a thing, it's back to the same thing. Specialist is like, you can just pretend it's not there. I want specialists to be relevant. That's what I want to see coming back in 4.1.
This man is still 100% dedicated to crafting above all else. I throw out a wish list. He's like specialist. I'm proud of you, Ashe. You've stuck true to your roots.
Thanks.
And that's fine. Those roots are made of gold when it comes to you.
Well, if you enjoy the crafting, the Gil you won't even notice it as it comes to you.
So you're telling me you have 4.5 billion? I'm like, I don't even notice. is that
actually, well, when I was AFK, my brother once took 5 million from my character, and I didn't even notice it.
You don't know 5 million is being taken away from you.
That is why the Acropolis is your bedroom.
You're a rich fuck. Goddamn. Okay, now we got all that out the way. It's time to get down to the nitty gritty and talk about actually making Gil. We already heard your opinion about crafting right now, and now it's just easy. If I can do it, anybody can fucking do it.
Agreed.
I remember when we had you on after 3.0 launch, you had some mixed opinions about crafting and gathering men. Like it's not even mixed now. You fucking hate it because it's so easy. How do you feel like in comparison to 3.0 versus now?
I really love the 3.0. I really love the weekly caps because it made you really work for what you want. Right now it's just sitting down, relaxing.
And that's it?
That's it.
That's it. He doesn't even need to say anything else.
Now, one thing I wanted to ask about was, well, I don't know if I really should ask about it because it's fucking meaningless. Yellow scripts. Why are they so fucking meaningless? Like, I felt like in 3.0 red scripts actually had a little bit more meaning, and then once we got yellow scripts,
they still have more meaning than yellow scripts, I feel.
Yeah, they
do. Red scripts right now is way better than yellow because you can get all your materia needs. The grade 4s are really easy to get with red scripts. 5 and 6 from spirit bonding you are guaranteed to get grade 5 from the 290 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So I would recommend getting grade 4 with only red scripts. And if you need grade 3 and below, the Ixal Beast Trap is the best for them.
I'm at a point where Ixals don't even matter anymore.
Dude, I could never bring myself to do the Ixali. I
I
don't like them.
Yeah.
I don't like. I could just stick to the easier quests and still level them up. I just never wanted to. I like the Moogles way better.
Yeah.
Moogles had glass fibers, though. To be fair.
And yeah, the thing about Moogles, Mike, you know not to do them right.
I haven't been doing. No, you mean for leveling? Yeah, no, I know that. If anything, I think glass fibers are still like 18k to 20k a pop.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it for the glass fibers, not for the actual.
Yeah,
XP.
for the 20k a day. Yeah, let me put time out for that. I could literally go shit on an NPC and make 20k Gil. Gil is
Also, my very, very unpopular opinion that I want favors back.
No, come on.
Wait.
Come
Time
on.
out.
Come on.
You know how much guild it made?
Because everyone fucking hated it.
Million.
Because everyone fucking hated it, and you're like, well, I don't mind, so I'm gonna make
No,
money.
Not everyone. I actually like favors. I was the only one who liked favors.
I fucking hated favors. I made a lot of money off favors too, but I fucking hated them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all there is to it. Okay, all right.
Okay, Hammer's in chat making a good point though. That's because my server is very inflated. It's not as favors were not good apparently as.
I made a lot of money on Gilgamesh with favors, man. It was.
Well, there you go. Why is it bad then?
Well, it was good for like maybe like 2 months or something like that. It's I get those five things, whatever they were, the favors themselves, and then when it was 15 minutes, I hated it. Then it was only 5 minutes, and I get through it so quick. But it was, I don't know. I just didn't like it. It wasn't satisfying to me. And then they nerfed it. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, it's alright. The 5 minute one was.
It is guaranteed that it will never come back, so don't worry. I just liked it.
No, what if they listen to this podcast? They're like, that guy's got a lot of guilt. Maybe we should listen to him about what makes about what people want in this game. You're the voice of reason.
Now, the one thing I hate doing is fucking like calling out the fucking markets on shit. But we'll just go ahead and do it now.
Do it.
Ash, in terms, let's get gathering first. In terms of gathering, what are the best mats that will net you the most skill right now?
Easy answers. The sands. The sands are every end game recipe require them, even potion and foods. So as a gatherer, you can make really nice skill with the sands.
Here's the thing about me, like with my sand, when it comes down to my dust lights, I usually just keep them for my. I'll do a gather and keep ones for myself that I know I'm going to use for pots, and then the other time I go gather them, I'll put a few on the board. Now, the price of the sands right now in comparison to the pots themselves, like 1 sand equals 3 pots. Would you rather play the long game and just use them for pots, or actually just sell the sands?
Well, it depends. You have to kind of do the math, how long it takes to gather the other mats, and then if it in the long run it will be more profit or not.
Honestly, it doesn't take long. Like to get all the other mats for pots, it really doesn't.
Yeah, the other mats are really easy.
Yeah,
but it's the time.
Yeah,
how long does it take?
It doesn't take that long. Like I can go like in between doing maps and shit, I can go to Yangsha and get some parsley for like maybe 15-20 minutes and get a whole stack, and that'll, how many pots is that? It's like 2 parsley per pot for a stack of pots. So it's not that bad. Like it's a good time investment.
So you know what I made some pretty decent money off of with botany. I forgot exactly what item it was, but one of the very first items you can gather getting right into Stormblood. I can't for the life of me remember what it was called, but they were selling for like 400 or 500 a piece because apparently they were used in making one of the very first leave quest items going into tradecraft leaves. I made a lot of money off it. I gathered like 200 of them for no reason, and then I was like, okay, let me see how much these go for. Oh, these are like deep eye tiers. Everybody.
That's
needs
a
these.
really good feeling. Yeah, I know that.
They reminded me of deep eye tiers in terms of like, whoa, I didn't even realize I was about to make money off this. So that's for gathering. That gathering, we're gonna go with sands, regardless of which gatherer you are. Which kind of makes sense because, like, I don't even know how much the legendary mats sell for. Like
it's way lower, but it's also easy to gather them. They pop like twice every real life hour, where it used to be only once per hour before Stormblood.
Yeah, because I did adamantite ores like before, and I never really got past that in Heaven's Word. I just never cared. Once Quap came out, that was it for me. That's all I needed in my life. And Canals has been similar to some degree.
Pretty much.
So I got to ask you about gathering. I want to ask you not even about crafting. I want to ask you about Desynthesis, because that is the one piece of crafting I do know. And Desynthesis hit kind of a rough point at the beginning of Heaven's Word, where it was like not very good, and then it's been like god tier ever since. How do you feel about it in Stormblood?
Especially Weaver, those clothes, you know.
Oh, I know
most
exactly
of people
where
I
this is
think
going.
I know. Gil-making and Manza City here. The people are having so trouble farming them, but if you were lucky and you leveled decent before Stormblood and you were on point, you could just decent the belts and get the cloth. One belt is 13k gil, okay, and most of the time you get 2 pieces of cloth, which was 80k each on my server.
Yeah, they're like they hovered around 35 to 4k around on my server, but it was still worth doing.
Well, kind of getting ahead of ourselves. In the patch notes, the Manzaziri hairs and the Gil-makings, the drop rate has been increased.
Oh yeah, I read that, but yeah, that's gonna affect the price. But at least we took advantage of it.
Oh yeah, dude, I literally hosted Ashe one day, and he was just going through, like, I saw he was just going through, okay, I'm selling this for 600k, this for 400k, this for 800k. And I was like, dude, Desynthesis has been really great. He's like, yeah, especially when you go get those Surge aprons and sell them and desynthesize them. They're only 13k a pop. And I'm like, what? Immediately went and like desynth like 45 of them. And I was like, and I just made 2 mil. So, and market burned. Desynthesis has been nice in general. Like, Weaver and Leatherworker have been Weaver, Leatherworker, Goldsmith are my holy trinity of desynth, because I only do it on one character, and almost everything that comes out of the expert dungeons is one of those 3. And
yeah, exactly.
It's fucking amazing. Merid Leather was amazing. Dawn Surge was amazing. Everything is so good. Sly, do you have desynthesis left?
No.
You get on that.
Yeah, you should work on that. You're gonna thank me later in 5.0.
Dude, you'll thank him later in like 4.2. Every time a new patch comes out, if there's new desynth material or new crafting recipes, there's usually some way to like get it through desynth that's like just bypass all the whole gathering and crafting and all that stuff.
Yeah, and we might get a glass fiber equivalent where it's used for the next tier of crafting.
I forgot about that. That's right, because you used to be able to desynthesize the red script. I mean, you still can, the red script gear.
Yes.
Or it was blue scripts back then, but you could desynthesize it for glass fibers.
Yeah.
And I know people who, when they were like 800k each, because everyone thought you could only get them from Moogle quests, they were like, here you go, and I'm rich. All right. So then, Sly, you're the only crafter here, so you can go ahead and ask. Only crafter between the 2 of us. Obviously, we have another crafter here.
One other thing I wanted to ask was about the not like switching from desynthesis to just regular conversion. Off the 70 gear, I'm pretty sure you've done like a lot of converting off the just the high quality gear. How much material has that netted you, like between 5s and 6s?
In average, every set I get at least 2 grade 6 materia, which is really huge.
Yeah.
And grade 5 is guaranteed. I recommend to not do anything else for grade 5 other than Spirit Bonding, because the fact that it's guaranteed, it's gonna stack up after a bit. And by the time you get all the 6s you need, you have a lot of 5.
When I found out about it, I haven't done it yet, even though I have the gear. Like I have the gear, it's pretty much fully spirit bonded. I haven't done it. I need to. I want to do another map day, and I'll get to that in a second. I want to do another map day, get a bunch more gil, so I can, or just gather the mats. I don't know, but I just need to just buy a whole stack of gear just so I can do this, because I saw another video where they pretty much made around, like they had a full stack of, not even a full stack, but like almost a full inventory of just like spirit bonded gear, and it on average it netted them about 15 mil, I think.
That's FF14 porn right there. I need to see that video.
I cannot even believe that is the equivalent of your porn for Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
Just a full inventory of high. Well, it doesn't even have to be high quality, does it? You can just convert and still get a 6, right?
Yeah. It doesn't need to be high quality.
Yeah.
Does high quality increases the rate at which it spirit bonds, I think? Just not the result. I'm trying to remember because I haven't done spirit bonding since Water Sprites back in East Shroud. That's
it only increases your speed of spirit bonding, and if you smelt any materia, it doesn't matter. That also speeds it up.
Yeah. So
usually what I do on NQ gear, I melt 3 materia, and on HQ I melt only 2, so that way it balances.
And they're just those throwaway tier 1s, I imagine, just to speed them up. Okay, yeah. That's amazing. See, I actually used to love spirit bonding back in the day. I don't know how worth it is for combat materia because of crack clusters. Like, because you could get dungeon gear and then just run the dungeons in the dungeon gear, and that'll net you grade 6s normally. Yeah. But dude, crack clusters are just everywhere.
I haven't tried spirit bonding battle, so
from what I understand, it's pretty quick. It's just that like those are like 100k a pop, or you could just craft and it's like 800k to like 1.3 mil whenever you get a grade 6. So I don't know. Combat's probably not worth doing right now. It's way too easy to get combat materia. I had like 90 crack clusters from hunting before Omega came out. Omega Savage, something like that. It was pretty good.
Plus you get a shit ton in Uznair anyway, too.
Yeah, Uznair is a whole nother story. Yeah. It's a story that we could dive into if you guys want.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about some Uznair mats.
Uznair. I don't think Ashe. I feel like Ashe doesn't like Uznair because it takes materials he was maybe making money on before and then like shoves them in everyone's face and then they're not worth shit.
I just didn't have much time to do Uznair. Otherwise, I do like running it. It's also the most efficient way to cap your weekly tomes, I would say.
That I agree with. I don't do experts at all anyway. I did one today and I was like, this is weird. I got Temple of the Fist and I was like, this isn't Uznair. I don't like this. This is not good. So, Lost Canals of Uznair is the update to the Aquapolis. It's the next Aquapolis. So, before we even talk about Uznair, I gotta present this idea. Have either of you considered going back and running Aquapolis now that nobody does it?
No.
I think the stuff in there is gonna be really expensive because nobody fucking does it anymore.
Maybe the minions, perhaps.
The minions, the orchestrion rolls, any of the. I think there's furnishings in there also or something.
Maybe the cashmere poncho
the trees.
Materials.
The trees, the cashmere poncho. Dude, I'm considering going back and doing Aquapolis.
New rules, though.
I don't give a shit.
Actually, I'm interested to trying soloing it as Scholar.
I don't think you can because it's still item level cap.
It's still hard, I don't know. Yeah. No, wait, yeah, you're right. Never mind.
It's still complete. You could solo the map. You just wouldn't be able to solo the Quap itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, because all those materials and stuff now, I think it might be the hidden OP right now. Just going back and doing Aquapolis as opposed to doing the Lost Canals of Uznair.
Yeah, plus the maps are cheap, too.
Yeah, everyone's... Yeah, exactly, dude. Dragon skins are like 8k a pop on Gilgamesh last I checked.
And, let me see, Gazelles. Gazelle skins... 12.
Gazelle skins are down because now people are stopping. They're not making as much money doing Lost Canals anymore because everyone's fucking doing Lost Canals right now. I don't know. Taoist Wool is still like 100k-ish on Greg. What do you? So you haven't done much. Have you done any of it, Ash?
Which are you talking about?
Lost Canals.
I did a few, but I've never reached the last floor, so I don't know exactly what they draw. So I think you have more experience at that than me.
Sai, have you made it to the 7th?
Yes, I have.
How many times?
On my map.
Yeah, so that was the first time I made it to the 7th. Was on my own map too for this one.
Yeah, like, I made it to the 7th floor twice on somebody else's map, and then one time on my own.
Okay. And what kind of loot are we looking at here?
The silk, mainly.
Oh my god, the silk.
Oh god, it's like right now the silk is going for the Nakshan silk is going for 2 mil per.
That's still really good.
Yeah.
It's also very rare. I've done a lot of maps and seen no silks, and then I've seen one person get 3.
Yeah, I've seen one person do I think it was a full run and they got 2 Nakshan silks.
Sounds like tequila.
Like, are you fucking serious? And these are the times, like, again, I have a love-hate relationship with Uznair because I decided, let's make this a day. Let's, make a map day. Let's, everybody get your maps, bring your maps, put them on your retainer, do whatever you need to do. We'll do them on this day. And I only get an Uznair once off of my map.
Dude, I've literally only been in 3 times out of I have like 20 maps. It's fucking aggravating me.
But the fucked up thing is I'll do like an unofficial map day. Like the next day I'll just say, hey, it's not a map day, but I just feel like doing maps and just set a PF. Get into there almost like 3 or 4 times and then get to the 7th chamber once. So yeah, like I'm thinking, my FC fucking hates me.
I fucking hate you. And I don't even play with you.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. I don't.
How much gil does it draw? 150k.
100k.
The last floor.
Just the 7th floor. It's 100k per person. I think in total it's somewhere like just over 200k if you clear for every person. Just floor clearing, not including any random grade 5s or grade 6s or sticky dick Namazus in there. I call them sticky dicks, not sticky whiskers. Yeah, but I don't know. Uznair, I agree. Like I feel like I had better luck and I made more money with Aquapolis like right when it came out versus Lost Canals of Uznair. But that's also because I haven't gotten any silk. I watched one person go, I think it was 2 silks and 3 Namazus.
Like, here's the thing. I'll take, getting a silk off the first sluice and then getting to kick the fuck out. Like, that's the case. I'm fine. Like, mission accomplished. That's 2 mil right there. And we just get kicked out. I'll take it.
Yeah, I agree with that. If somebody gets it and then we get kicked out, even though I'm not getting gil from it, I'm like, fuck it. I don't care. Somebody got a silk. I feel good about this.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want them to do. I'm glad the last floor has a bit more variety, but I don't. I feel like I still want something more out of Lost Canals. I want more trolling. I want more random occurrences.
Do you like the freebies? The freebie doors?
The freebie doors here are nice because there's no way you can fucking not see them. Unlike before, where sometimes people just didn't look. That being said, I'm a queen bee kind of guy. I always go left anyway, so if it's not a glowing door,
it never works for me.
Never works. Every time I've gotten to the 7th floor, every time.
There was on Co-op there was a theory to see the other side of the door and see if that gold is leading the way or not, like footsteps, but instead it's gold.
How could you just drop that on your way down to your bedroom, Ash? Not even paying attention to what's falling out of your pockets. Reckless. That's gonna be a joke forever. Literally until this game ends. That is your bedroom, or it's like it's a housing area that you can only get to if you're Ash. That's it.
So any other mats really worthwhile out of the Lost Canals besides this silk?
There's some just like I make a lot of gil off just the random mats that hit your inventory. This is what I was talking about, where Ash just must hate that like all these materials that like maybe he could like use to craft and make money. I'm just getting them for free, and and everyone is, so it destroys their markets and brings the prices down on so many things.
Plus, aren't the 1.0 music scrolls in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are pretty good money too.
They used to be. They're not.
Like it's still like I think there's still pretty good money on behemoths. I don't know about.
I mean, I could check Gilgamesh real quick, but last I checked, those music sheets. There's so many of them that like it's better than getting nothing, but it's not great. You know what kind of pisses me off? One of the things about Uznair loot, and Quapolis had this too, but I feel like it's more prevalent in Uznair. You get like grade 1 like Reswees from like the 7th fucking floor, and I'm like,
that's like, why isn't it more grade 2 often?
why isn't it anything that's not a fucking Reswee?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many of those you see, but every time I get to the 7th floor, somebody literally just gets a bunch of those. I don't know. I don't know. You have?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the name of the orchestrion rolls for this one in particular? Because oh, never again. Navigator's Glory, Born of the Bows, and the Twin Faces. So Twin Faces are 25k on Gilgamesh, Born of the Bows 23k, and Navigator's Glory 60k. So that's what's happened to those prices.
The one I had sold for about 100k. That was like last, I think.
Yeah, that's what they are on Gilgamesh right now, because too many people do fucking maps. But yeah, there are grade 2s, but I've gotten grade 1s from that final floor as well. I've gotten grade 1s and grade 2s off the 7th floor. But it's still like, it's like one grade 2. It's not like it's a bunch of them.
Yeah, it's only one, and that kind of like, I kind of felt like, they make a mistake on this one? Why am I only getting one wrestler?
Because they fucking hate us, Sly. Because instead of getting a Namazu or a Silk or a good item, we gotta get grade 1 Reswees out of the fucking 7th floor. And crafters just be like, oh really? That'll be 98 gil, please.
How much has the Namazu gone for?
I don't know. I'd ask Tequila, who's gotten 3 of them, but I think he's been trading. I think he was trading them for the crafted gear for a while. He's like, oh, can I get that crafted piece? I'll trade you a Namazu. The 390k on Gilgamesh.
850.
Jesus fucking Christ, Gilgamesh. Fucking hate you, Gilgamesh. I fucking hate you so much. I mean, I'm sure everything else on other servers is more expensive, and it's not just the things I want to sell, but fucking hate you, Gilgamesh. I just wanna feel good. I wanna walk out of Aquapolis and just or out of an Uznair and be like, ah, I'm rich. Nope.
Every time I make a guide, oh, this is good, oh, that is good to sell. I'm showing everyone the price on my server, and every time at least one complainer from Gilgamesh, oh, it's not even nearly that much on Gilgamesh.
Yeah, but we've been focused a little bit more about Uznair, but like you said, Mike, the maps themselves, the ones off the map when you don't get to Uznair, they're pretty good too. The Taos Wool and
Taos Wool is the only good one I know of at this point. The Stygian Ashes are like no one cares. Like,
yeah, don't get about them.
Remember when we were like, oh, we have to make sure there's someone with a Stygian Ash nearby for Ixion, and now it's like everyone's racing to try and pull it early to get guaranteed gold. That's
the one other thing I just don't like getting from maps, and I've gotten like 2 of them for whatever random bumfuck reason, the fucking statue. Like,
no, I love the statue. It's like fucking 2k on my server. It's better than the Reswee. It's better than the grade 1 Reswees. So I just
was too salty at the point that I wasn't getting to Uznair, and I'm like, you're seriously getting me a fucking statue. Like it was like 80k, but still.
I want to give you a few heads up. So I looked up some of the Aquapolis loot on Gilgamesh.
Okay.
The Dwarf Rabbit is 2.4 mil. The Autumnal Ginkgo Tree is 1 mil. The Autumnal Maple Tree is 750k. And I need to check the leaves still, but I think you're getting the point here. The prices have gone up because people don't they don't do it anymore. So is it
Maple
leaf?
Tree 970k.
It's like the same.
Ginkgo 696. Dwarf Rabbit. I like how we're just doing this live.
Yeah, dude, that doesn't matter. Dude, even the fucking leaves are 250k. Why are people paying 250k for leaves? It's fucking leaves. If you opened a real treasure chest and there was fucking leaves inside, you'd not really be excited. Unless it's the Aquapolis.
The last dwarf rabbit that sold was on the 5th, and it sold for 2.4 million.
Nice.
Yeah. So we have pretty similar prices when it comes to the Quapolis because equally as few people are doing it on both servers. But just imagine if you were going treasure hunting and you opened a chest, there was fucking maple leaves inside. Would you just be like, holy shit, there's fucking leaves in here, yeah!
No.
No.
And people are paying $250K to sprinkle leaves in front of their houses. This fucking
Glamour,
game.
the true fucking in-game.
This fucking game, dude.
There's also gold, right? From the Aquapolis, like for the housing. A pile of gold that you can put on your floor.
Is that Aquapolis? I know the pile of gold is what I know what you're talking about, but
okay, I thought it was Aquapolis. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, it could also be Uznair, but I don't remember ever seeing a pile of gold. I'm trying to find the item. Pile of tomes, maple leaf pile. The other leaf pile is only like 100K, still ridiculous, but I'm not sure. Actually, that would be I mean, it'd be really funny if that item was super common and cheap, but there's a fucking rabbit that sells for 2.5 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that rabbit's just looking for a home. People trying to charge out the ass for it and whatnot. All right, so making Gil. So here's what we've got so far with making Gil. Crafting is too fucking easy. Yes, Ash.
Yes, just macro. You can just get to the requirement for 2-star, and you can macro everything.
Okay. Gathering, go for sands is the big thing that we took away from that. Yep. Ash wants favors back, and nobody fucking likes them, so nobody knows why that he wants them back. I'm recapping here for everybody. Sly, what are you doing? This
I like them.
He likes them.
You don't like him, Sly. Anyway, I'm just letting you know you don't actually. Plundered treasure is the item you were looking for. It was what the pile of gold is. Go for it, Sly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't remember where it came from. So then Desynthesis is broken as fuck, and if you're not doing it, it's literally free money you're missing out on. I'll vouch. I have 127 mil right now, and I had 134 when the expansion dropped, and a large portion of that was just meat. This is when I think big money comes in for Desynthesis. Is as soon as you can desynthesize the lowest tier tomestone that's available for the expansion. As soon as, like, what are they called right now? Not creation. I don't even keep the names in mind. As soon as Verity Tomestone gear is desynthesizable, I feel like some sort of material is going to be put in the game that's going to make me a very happy man.
Another thing is, at the beginning of the Stormblood, or any expansion, you know the main story gives a lot of gear, and the market, Boris, gets so filled of them. I was buying, for example, high steel Uchigatana, the samurai weapon. I was buying them for 1K, decenting them, getting at least 20K worth of materials from them.
Desynthesis is the hidden OP. You just make money off free shit.
Even if you're not gonna need it for now, level it up and save it for the future expansions.
The only reason I have over 100 mil is a combination of Aquapolis, Uznair, and Desynthesis. So I will vouch, and if you have questions, I can answer them to some degree. And then we had materia conversions. Definitely start, if you're a crafter, start learning what you need to do to convert crafting materia. Which is what, the 290 gear, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 290 gear, Ash. And Ash hasn't had time to do Uznair because he's been doing Final Fantasy 12 for the last 3 weeks. So Sly and I will tell you it's hit or miss, but doing the old Aquapolis might be worth it. If you can get people who are willing to play the game not at level 70, which can really fucking suck at times. And, like, item level sync down to 150? No, not 150. What is the item level sync of the Aquapolis? It's not high. It might be like 210 or something.
That's what I was thinking. 210.
Yeah, I think it's 190 or 210. I think it's 180. What the fuck?
Oh, 190.
Oh my god, that's fucking upgraded. What was it called at the beginning of the last expansion? Fuck it, it's upgraded Centurio seal gear. That's where the item level cap is. Oh, that's gonna feel so bad, but the money's gonna be so good. I'm gonna start gathering the fucking dragon skin maps.
Well, that's the reason the prices are up, because it's annoying to do. Less people are doing it.
It's just not new. It's not sexy. I mean, you usually recommend doing this for like people who are new anyway when it comes to like crafting, because you can make a lot of gil when you're leveling up, just abusing the fact that nobody wants to grind low level materials.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, man. Just do old content to make new money. I mean, look at the Moogle shit that everyone crafted. That's sold for millions upon millions. Did you sell any of those? Like the Moogle samurai weapon, the Moogle red mage weapon?
Yeah, the samurai 2 million when I sold mine.
It's fucking...
And I had the Kingly Whisker bought for only 15k before the Stormblood hit. So that was almost, 2 million profit right there.
Unfucking believable.
Glamour is endgame. That's that.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree when people are opening treasure chests and getting excited about fucking leaves. I 100% agree. Was there anything else money-making wise that maybe we didn't hit, you think, Ash?
I
would say
not
Verity
on top of my head. I think we hit everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say Verity mats, but that's kind of downhill. I mean,
Yeah.
The first day Savage came out, everybody was like, "Hey, we'll buy Verity mats for so and so." Like,
On day one, I said, we'll sell Verity mats.
yeah.
They should bring back Grand Company mats as well. That should help battle class only people make gil as well.
I wonder if what's going to happen, because so one thing that eventually happened when it came to Heaven's Word is that the A Realm Reborn hunts had the old tombstone gear that you could desynth with, so just hunting with them and desynthing for like battlecraft demi materia was pretty good. I don't know if we'll ever hit that point again, if like these new ones will be worth desynthing down the line when it eventually gets shoved into like Centurio hunt seals and whatnot, but I'm hoping it does. Made a lot of money off that. Or the new Deep Dungeon having glamour in there. Oof.
Oh yeah.
The
That's gonna
desynthesis,
come back.
dude. The desynthesis of old Palace of the Dead gear. I made so much money off that. So I'm hoping that the next Deep Dungeon I can abuse that equally as much. See, desynthesis is, it's all around you. So just give in. Just give in. It's so worth it. All right.
It is.
So I think we've covered mostly making gil through a bunch of different avenues. Some of them not even directly related to crafting or gathering, like the Lost Canals and Aquapolis.
Right.
Of course, you can gather the map, but I mean, to do the content, you don't need to be a gatherer, really, per se. So, at that point, I knew the show was definitely going to be a short one, but we want to take some time to talk about the patch notes from today for 4.06 and their implications, or lack thereof, for what has started today. We good? You two want to do that?
Yeah.
You can imagine you said no. I'm like, fuck it, show's over. All right. No, I don't want to talk about it. All right. So, patch 4.06 patch notes. A few things came today. One was the Moonfire Fair. Sly and I have the same response here.
Yeah.
Yay. Dude, did you see the picture of Zoe and Chloe out at the beach, though? They're out having a good time at the beach. But
You know what's funny? When I did the event, it was raining the whole time in Costa del Sol.
Summer!
Summer.
Oh. Wow, you had an awful trip at the beach. Listen, I'm sure the kids had fun, though. There's also Ultros, of course, who's back for more business. Of course, we should have assumed that based on their inclusion of him even going back to the launch for Stormblood. We knew the creeper had to come back. Women in bathing suits is Ultros's candy store.
Where there are titties, there is Ultros.
Put that on a shirt and sell it. Anyway. There's what does he call it? Is it seafood soup? What is he? It's not octopus soup. It's quote where you cast fire on him. I don't remember. I don't know. Fuck it. So Moonfire Fair, take 15 minutes of your life and then move on, pretty much. So, you know, people, speaking of making money, people have been selling battered fish. every time Moonfire Fair comes around, people just, because you can buy them from the NPC, can't you?
You can buy the fish, yeah, and the other materials are easy. You can just craft it. They are all low level.
Yeah, but people still buy them for like, I saw them selling for 10k a pop
Wow.
Now, then, like, by the end of the day, they were all like 3K a pop. But people still spend money on the battered fish every fucking year. They never learn. They never care. All right. So Moonfire Fair. The Feast Season 5 started today.
Woo!
You actually sounded excited for that.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I saw Mary doing a little bit. He seemed discouraged because he, like...
Is he melee?
Climbing the ladder. I don't know if I want to climb the ladder this season. I probably won't.
Well, a lot of people are considering it because of the way the new reward system works, where you get points based on, you get the tokens based on what rank you are at the end of the season. So, like, even just being bronze or silver is tokens towards gear. So.
No, but you don't want to be bronze or silver.
No, but it's something.
Diamond. Diamond.
What about you, Ash? You thinking about getting messing around in the Feast once you actually finish Final Fantasy 12?
Don't think so.
Is that because you don't think you'll ever be done with Final Fantasy 12, or because you don't want to?
That's
I know how you function. There's a reason you're called Ash 10. I know the reason. Oh man. So no, you're not planning on doing any feast climbing. That gear's not for you. There's no guild to be made in it. So.
Yeah. That too.
Desynthesis went really down. I mean, PvP went really downhill when you couldn't desynthesize Garo gear. That's in my opinion. It went really downhill when I couldn't desynthesize Garo gear, because that was my main motivation for PvP, was to desynthesize the gear. It used to be really good money. It's not anymore though. So, I don't know how I feel about Feast. I hopped in a few 8v8 matches, and biggest problem is sometimes like people don't want to switch to healer, and I'm in that list because I want to win, so if I'm a healer, it's a guaranteed loss. So that's the biggest problem. But man, so I haven't PvP'd at all, and then after stream today, I was like, let me hop in the Feast a little bit. 8v8, so I don't, it's not bad. It feels really weird as Monk. Really weird.
How so?
So, Form Shift just gives you Grease Lightning stacks, which is really, really weird for me. It's great, though. It's fucking great. I always have Grease Lightning stacks. There's no way to not have it. Riddle of Fire is mostly the same. Riddle of Earth, there's no fist stances to switch between, which I'm used to from the old PvP. Riddle of Earth, you have to take 50% of your max HP and damage before it triggers, but it also makes you do more damage on top of taking less damage. And then you stack chakras from your 3rd tier combos and from your, I think it's called Somersault is the PvP skill. So it's just, it's very, very strange. Like, don't get me wrong, when I look at the other jobs, it's clearly different, but like when I see Bard in PvP, like I still get some semblance of it being somewhat akin to the way it functions elsewhere. But here I'm just like,
now let me ask you this: how's your TP look?
Fucking amazing as a monk.
Of course it would.
Well, okay, to be fair, by default I ran the plus 40% generation because it was what was defaulted. I actually don't think I need to, but I know that if I don't, it's pretty much going to come down to waiting for a burst window where I have enough TP to do enough somersaults to get 5 chakra stacks and then blow someone the fuck up. But
yeah, look at it like in terms of Guna. Look at everything. Like everything. Okay, getting eyes off of Wheeling Thrust and Hanging Claw, while good, I'm not complaining, but like you said, it feels a little bit weird. Why the fuck is Jump 400 TP?
Well, because of the way TP works in PvP is very different now. Because none of your normal skills use it. It's only like a way of limiting how frequently you use skills that aren't on the GCD to some degree, or like offensive skills that aren't on the GCD.
I can see that, but why didn't they give Spine Shattered the same treatment?
I don't know. it's literally the thing is you use TP to like go for the kill with your damage, and then your utilities or like your other things work separately. But like when you're trying to get that skill that's between the global cooldown, that's like it's pumping out hits, then that's why. So that's how it feels to me, at least. It's been interesting though. I gotta learn it and then see if I could hop into 4v4, because right now not optimistic about hopping into 4v4. So then we get to one of the big things with this, and there are other things, but we'll talk about job changes. Changes. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to look at them yet, Ash, but yeah. I don't know.
Well, I only have Scholar at 70, so not much experience.
Scholar at 70, but every crafter.
Yeah.
The shit that actually matters, yeah.
Yeah. Glamour is endgame, and crafters make glamour. So that's what matters most. So Scholar didn't get any changes. How are you feeling about the way Scholar is playing right now?
They fixed it a little bit, giving us back Miasma 2 was a good thing. I really felt like I was never gonna do as good DPS again. Because sometimes I used to do higher DPS than actual DPS in dungeon runs. And that it feels bad, man, when I couldn't do that anymore after Stormblood.
I liked Scholar when I was leveling it. I did it after they fixed it. Or after they buffed it a little bit. I felt pretty good. I didn't have too many troubles with Scholar. I just didn't have infinite MP like I did with White Mage.
But the healing parts, the new healing abilities are really, really fun to work with.
I like XCOG. I like the buffed XCOG.
Yeah, that one. That's really fun.
I like how Scholar has like nicknames for like alts. It's got Adlo, it's got Indom, it's got XCOG. Meanwhile, White Mage is like Cure. Asylum. Just call them by their normal names. You don't call it Ass instead of a size, because it's not Ass. It's really good. I just like all the fancy names for Scholar. So we had 5 jobs get changes. Dragoon was one of them.
Hey, monthly goon buff. But it wasn't really a buff.
No.
No.
I made the same mistake a lot of other people did, and I just saw numbers go up, and I was like, wow, that's really good for them.
You see the potencies, and then you see the fine print.
There was no fine print was the problem. The fine print was, I hope you actually were fully comprehending what you were reading.
Yeah.
So you want to explain what those buffs were?
Well, the buffs mainly, like you see it says heavy thrust, potency increased from 100 to 140. Great. Awesome. That's when you don't hit the position. Now, before everybody loses their shit, yeah, it's for people who fuck up. Or it's for when you're doing mechanics, and when you're doing mechanics or true Northism. That's mainly the buffs that you're seeing right now.
You know,
Chaos Thrust got a... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You know, as a monk who has a lot of fucking positionals, don't know how I feel about Dragoon getting this kind of luck. I don't know how I feel about it. Because it's not like our potencies are not as severe of a drop-off as yours, but our potencies are also a fuck ton lower than yours to begin with, at the cost of us having, like, God knows how much plus damage in our kit. So, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I'll let you finish what the other changes are.
Yeah, Chaos Thrust, the potency when you actually hit the positional was decreased by 10, so 150, 140. Fang Claw, 200 to 250. Milling Thrust, 200 to 250. Again, you don't hit the position. It's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. It's more of a, it's not really, I don't find this like a ceiling down type of...
You mean a floor up? Because technically buffing the fuck-ups would be floor up.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I really don't find this to be like a floor up kind of buff. It's... I don't know how to describe it.
Let me just say this. When 2.0 Monk launched, people found it was more efficient to just do the flank combo and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that.
No.
Like, that was ridiculous. But I think of fights like O2 Savage, where you're so often just like squeezed in front of the boss for like even just a short time, and I think of that one GCD you get off during there, I'm like, Dragoons, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I'm gonna keep not getting my bonus potency, and you do you. Alright? Do you think that just that alone kind of helps Dragoons at all in any sense of the word when it comes to the way they're placed, since being out of position actually happens fairly frequently in 2-3 and the first part of 4 Savage. Obviously the second part doesn't have positionals.
Yeah, like especially in 4, because I have to, like, with the thing with 4, I have to open the True North, because like dodging fucking blizzes is ridiculous, and like I had to be safe. So to be safe, rather than just actually eating a blizz, I'll just pop True North and fuck any positionals whatsoever. Yeah, for these fights, which you're going to be out of positionals for most of the mechanics anyway, especially like you said 2 and 3. It definitely does help.
So we've got those for Dragoon, and I swear to God, if you guys get buffed to be back above Monk at some point, I'm gonna punch you in the face, Sly.
Didn't we establish that Goon is the new Monk for 4.0?
No, because ever since their last changes, at this point, people just don't like Life of the Dragon, but Dragoon is okay now, especially now you can't...
Yeah, it's in a good place. It's in a good place. They buff it anymore, it would be in a really, really fucking
I just don't want it to get to the point where they're mandatory because of, even though it's only 5%, that piercing debuff, because their damage is good enough to warrant holding them and getting that 5% bonus on everything as opposed to the occasional thing like Brotherhood or something like that.
Right.
Ninja got a similar treatment. Basically, they had their fuck up on Aeolian Edge brought up, and they had their actual rear positional brought down. So a lot of ninjas tell me it's a net nerf because of a certain strategy that they used to employ. Like if you knew a boss was going to jump or something, I think you would do 2 Aeolians back to back, even if it wasn't good. I don't know the exact thing, but I've been told it's a slight ninja nerf, actually, because of the rear positional thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it's similar treatment. That once again I went, what the fuck is this? I don't get it. And then, yeah, so I look like a fucking idiot, Sly. The Dragoon one I looked really fucking dumb on, Sly. I was like, what the fuck are they? Wow, just potency everywhere. This shit's gonna be broken. Oh,
no,
no.
No. I wish there was no fine print, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Then the next thing would be. What was
Bard.
after that? Yeah, Bard. Didn't expect that.
Yeah.
So actually, 3 of those buffs make sense. Last in 4.05, they made it so that Summoner and Scholar would still generate like Ether Trail or Fey Gauge through using their Ether Flow stacks, even when it hit an invulnerable target. This is along those lines. It makes the song effect still trigger, so you're not fucked for the next 30 seconds, and I appreciate that. I feel like that's fair. That's not even necessarily like a buff. That's like quality of life, which I think is fair. The other changes were really strange, though, because they are net buffs in pretty much every way. And it was almost like they weren't happy with the way abilities were timed on Bard. So straight shot only being once every 30 seconds means you do it once per song, because straighter shots you'll spend on Refulgent arrows. And by taking Barrage off of 90 seconds, it means that Barrage and Straight Shot don't ever happen at the exact same time. So I think it gives you a little bit more freedom to fish for a Barrage Refulgent arrow as opposed to feeling like you're sitting there not getting procs for ages. So I think that might be what they were going for. It was surprising, but it does flow pretty well. I think I was kind of happy with it, but I think overall it is a net buff for them.
Yeah.
So if you end up playing Bard, keep that in mind. I just started leveling my Bard today, actually.
How's it feel to you?
Fucking great. I love it. I'm going to be rating my ultas. I'm alt rating on that one. So,
Nice.
Yeah. Then we move into Machinist and Summoner territory.
Yeah.
Ash, have you been hearing much about Summoner and Machinist on your server?
Yeah, I've heard that they were a little underperforming compared to the counterpart.
Just go ahead and say their shit.
He hasn't played them. He can't say that.
Yeah, that's why. But I just heard them.
That's why. Your entire server seems to be unpleased, though. And now all of Reddit and the official forums are also unpleased. Because these are not the changes that people wanted. Now the Machinist Salt isn't as bad as the Summoner Salt. Summoners got plus 10 potency per tick on their dots. Now, to be fair, we recently this has been kind of a long known fact, but it was made more public knowledge that summoner damage is not tracking properly on ACT because direct hits on all dots, on every job, direct hits don't track at all. So I understand that like summoner only has 2 dots now, so it's not as, I guess, big, but it does give you some idea of them maybe not displaying their damage to the same degree that they should. That being said, I think summoners wanted changes other than 10 potency per day
Wow.
on their 2 dots. I feel kind of bad, but at the end of the day, it's like, that's actually 200 potency a minute, man. I can't be like, it's not like it's not a buff. It's just not changing devotion. It's just not, you know, making it so when you die, you don't lose ether flow stacks, which I think is the big one that people want. Or you don't lose ether trail. Well, I guess, yeah, you don't lose ether flow or ether trail is the big one that people want. And the one I really want is for devotion to be targeted and not nearest target, because that's dumb. Hey, listen, if the fucking dragon sight can be targeted, then there's no reason devotion can't be targeted. And then machinists, apparently the direct hit dot problem was fixed 3 days ago. Then why did it just get posted like 2 days ago? I don't understand. Maybe it was posted 3 days ago. And then you have machinist.
Mm-hmm.
So I played machinist at level 60, but I don't have a real opinion on this. Hotshot's a 60-second buff now. Can we just go back to the drawing board on this job and just start over? Because I see these changes and I go, you know, it's a thing, but it's, just go back, just start over. Just, I'm not even memeing. Delete the job and just re-release it, all right? Because it has an identity that doesn't work at all, is how I feel. They know what they want to do is fine with this whole heat gauge thing, because I like that. But everything is wrong about it. Everything is wrong.
I'm still iffy about the heat gauge thing.
So, well, the way it works now is when they changed it before. So when Machinist first came out, you had heat management because you generated heat so fast that you were using cooldown frequently. Then they changed it so you generate heat slow as shit. So you stay in that 50 to 90 range. It's still not worth overheating at this point, or it's barely worth, I guess I should say. But it's also just, there's nothing to do because you're getting less cooldowns in, and there's no dot management, and there's, you know, Hotshot was still 30 seconds, so you had no buff management either, and your utilities aren't as valued as Bard. Now you manage even less because Hotshot is 60 seconds, and now if it's finally worth overheating for Wildfire at least. And then they make Flamethrower generate more heat. It's like, yeah, these are buffs, but it's so disjointed. Everything about this job feels like, oh, I want you to generate heat fast, but no, I want you to generate heat slower, but no, now I want you to want it to be worth overheating, but I want you to stay between 50 and 90, 95 all the time. I don't know. And dismantle, that you could do that more frequently too. No one cares, but you can, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I'm lost when it comes to Machinist. Just start over. Just start over completely. I've never said this. I've never said this about a job before. Sly, start over completely.
Honestly, I think they should just get rid of the fucking heat gauge.
You can make it fun and interactive. They just didn't.
It isn't. That's the thing. That's the problem with it. And I had a problem with it when I first saw it. I'm like, this doesn't look right. I don't know how I feel about it. And then they started making changes to it, and then they changed it back a little. They dialed it back a little, and made another change. Like, honestly, I think the job would preserve, quote unquote, the identity it had in 3.0 if you just get rid of the fucking heat gauge. I think, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, not every job needs a new mechanic that requires a job.
Sly, Whitemane still has to suffer this fucking Lily thing, as much as it's worked out at this point.
Needs it. Not every job needs it. I'm just saying, no.
It's too late because every job has it.
I think, okay, if you get rid of the gauge, do you think there will be a lot of, backlash?
I don't think there could be backlash at all, other than legit saying, "Oh, by the way, we're taking away potency on your job." At this point, that's the thing that would cause the most outrage, is if they said, "Yeah, let's lower the potency of your heated skills by 10." Like, if they did that, everyone would lose their goddamn minds. But it's just start over. Just drawing board. Just erase whatever you had on there. and just start over. All right, it's got a gun, it's got a turret, it's got all these, you know, gadgets and fizzy winks and whatever the hell the goblins want to call them. I don't know. The goblins have names for it. Fizzy winks. It's not the name for it, but it's better than Thinky Dinks, which is what I was gonna say the first time. But
that actually sounds a little bit more gobby.
No, I don't think Thinky Dinks sounds like it's goblin at all. Sly. So these were minor job changes. These seem like knee-jerk reaction changes to people demanding changes, other than the Bard ones, which seemed thought out. So wait till 4.1, because don't forget, we're still waiting on the new Shake It Off. They promised us Shake It Off was getting a new effect.
Oh boy!
Dude, I'm excited for a new Shake It Off. If it's somehow worse, I swear.
Are you memeing, or are you actually excited?
No, I'm excited, man.
Oh,
I'm very excited for the new shit. Listen, I want to see what it does, okay? I want to see what the new Shake It Off does. I assume that any real changes would come.
I want to see him delete it. I want to see him delete it.
No, you got to shake it off, man.
Yeah, shake it off your fucking hotbar.
There's the meme. There's the meme. I can appreciate that. And then other than that, Ixion drops more horns now.
Hooray.
Hooray. Ashe, how many have you done Ixion at all, Ashe?
Yeah, I have 4 horns.
I'm assuming you never hunt there. You never hunt him.
No, I just happened to be there when it spawned.
You know, I just realized you of all people could probably just stock up on like an entire inventory full of crafting materials and just craft there for hours and just wait.
Yeah, I could do that, but actually no, because I need to always have access to my retainers in the market board.
See, he has some goddamn sense. He's not going to be doing those fucking wait parties in the locks, just waiting for fucking Ixion like a fucking idiot. No. Like, you people who do that are fucking stupid. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. That shit's stupid. Stop doing that.
Sly, there are only instances left in the locks now because they still don't trust people about camping for like 12 hours because they still are doing it.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, they are in my server, that's for sure.
Does your server still crash whenever people try to fight it? I don't think the server crashes anymore when people try to fight Ixion on Gilgamesh. I think it's gotten at least to that point where it's like somewhat forgivable, but not all the way there. I just can't believe how many problems that this fate has caused. This fate is single-handedly responsible.
Badass horse.
Listen, don't make fun of his hooves just because they're short.
No, he's fucking fat.
I mean, and stubby, but don't make fun of him. Sly, you and I are fat. What do we get to talk shit about? You got the beer fats, I got the fats. All right?
I have both.
Yeah, that's we both. Yeah, I don't have as many beer fats. That's fine. That's fine. It's all right. I'm just saying. We can't call a horse fat. Look at us.
But in comparison to the other horses, he's pretty fucking fat.
I mean, compared to other people, I'm pretty fat.
You look at the Garo horse.
The horse is probably looking at me like, dude, you might want to take care of this a little bit, you know? He's feeling real good about himself, and I'm just
look at the Garo horses, you look at Sleipnir, and then you see this fat fucking pony with short.
It's all muscle. He's big boned.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm telling you. That's what it is. All right. Other than that, I don't think there's anything that has happened in the last week or so. We do know that that the next live letter will be during the 14-hour broadcast, though, and that Koji will be at PAX West. I'm gonna ask him stuff.
Story time.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him about Peaches.
You know what? Fine. If you want to ask Koji about Peaches, that's fine. I still want my fishing question, and that's not.
He doesn't do what. So, what lore question do you want about fishing? Because that's what the panel is on. It's on lore.
No. I don't. Oh, okay. Like, no. I'm just talking in general of a question, like not a lore question, but a question.
Would you like the lore on fishing tackles? Why we don't have fishing tackles?
No.
Or tackle boxes?
No, because I feel like that's a Yoshi question, not a Koji question.
No, but the lore on them.
Because the lore would translate into like actual dev.
But if we know why they don't why people don't use them, maybe you'll know why. There's some closure. No, Sly?
I'm good.
Ash, before we wrap up, is there anything you want to go over? Anything exciting? I would love to talk about Final Fantasy 12 right now, Ash, but we'll refrain from that one.
Yeah, I'm just hoping to see improvements of the crafting system. Other than that, yeah.
Are you hoping
Nothing
to
else
see
to
some Final Fantasy 12 references in Return to Evil East? I don't know how much of an
Oh,
Evil
yes.
I don't know if you're like an Evil East fan or if you're just a Final Fantasy 12 fan. I'm not sure if it goes all back.
Well,
to
I
tactics for
love
you.
mostly the gameplay, but I wouldn't mind Evil's lore.
What if the only reference was Vaughn?
Then I wouldn't care less about it.
I thought he was gonna say he would unsubscribe. I was gonna say he would unsubscribe. If it's just Vaughn,
Delete the game. Yeah.
yeah, if it's just Vaughn and Pinello. They're the ones in charge.
Yeah, just give me Vanilla.
They'll just ask.
Van is not the main character.
No, it's okay. He could just ask Y'shtola what her age is. That's it. There's your reference. There's your reference. But when you go into Return to Evil East, then people are gonna be like, "Hey, look, it's Ashelia." There you go. You'll be the reference to Final Fantasy 12 if people are on the EU data center. There you go. All right. On that note, though, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna wrap up the show for this week. I have raid in 10 minutes. So, Ash, thank you for joining us, and hopefully we ruined a few markets on some servers talking about some easy ways to make money. Why don't you tell them where they can find you and what you're doing over on Twitch and the YubTubs right now?
Well, thank you so much for having me as usual. I'm always so hyped when it's finally time for
It's like 1 in the morning for you, isn't it? So, and you're still hyped?
2 actually.
2 in the morning. There you go.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Ash10X, and Ash10 on Twitch without the X's.
Ash10X. Do you think you'll ever undo the X's?
That was because my main channel got deleted like 6 years ago on YouTube, so I had to make another one.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why they have the X's.
The easiest way to do is just add X's to the front and the back. That's an age-old internet trick. I can respect it. And are you still playing Final Fantasy 12 right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm focusing on. But obviously, I'm working on crafting and gathering guides on the side. I'm actually working on decent guide right now for Weaver, because it's so good. I want people to level it up, and I'm showing them the cheapest way to get it from 1 to 320.
Good. Because there's a lot of people that ask me for that. I'm just gonna be like, go over there.
Yeah, that's for YouTube. But on Twitch, I'm mostly on FF12.
Hey, listen, I spent like 200 hours on that game in the last few weeks, so I could totally respect that being the focus on Twitch right now. All right, well, best of luck finishing your new game minus. Sly, why don't you tell people where they can find you at if they don't know already?
You can find me on twitch.tv/Sly, aka Grey Fox. You can find me on Twitter at Sly the Fox, Instagram Sly, aka Grey Fox 07, Facebook Sly, aka Grey Fox, YouTube.com/The Velvet Room, and yeah, I actually have raid too, so I'll be raiding in a few minutes myself.
Excellent. We're like raid buddies, except we don't raid together.
Wait, you're actually like, are you Pug Life in this, or are you?
No, this week I'm not Pug Life. This week a group in Elysium needs a fill. So I'm doing 2 chests. Means I got my 340 weapon this week for sure.
Hooray!
Hooray! I'll have it in like 30 minutes.
Nice.
And you can find me at Mr. Happy1227 pretty much everywhere. It's gonna be an exciting month because I'm leveling an alt. It's on Famfrit, which I forgot. I moved it there for.
Wait, we Primal Boys now? We Primal Boys? We can do shit together?
Here's the thing. So I moved it there for Count Up because that's where Morag and Slack were on Famfrit. And I named the character Slackahapicus, and I totally forgot about that. He used to be Mr. Happy. Now he's Slackahapicus. And he's still there, so I'm going to get him to 70 there and then make up my mind if I want him on Ether or Primal. We'll see. As long as I can Pug Life, I guess I don't really care. And then on top of that, we got Dauntless this month. We got Dissidia NT closed beta this month. PAX West is at the end of the month. And I feel like there's something else happening this month that I'm forgetting about right now. Sly? I don't know. So it's going to be exciting times, though. Mr. Happy1227, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all those fun places. And we got a lot of good stuff coming up. But on that note, though, we are going to wrap up the show for the week. Again, also apologies if my microphone is going in and out as well. Because whenever I do this, and I also just randomly switch scenes because I hit my friggin' keyboard at the same time. Whenever I do this, I like lean back because I get super excited. I get really far from the mic, so it kind of fucks with the audio. So apologies for that. And Ash, your mic was fine after the one time it went low, by the way.
Oh, good to hear. Thanks.
Good. By the way, your mic does sound really nice when it's working. Just want to say that. There you go. And on that note, we will see you next week for Stay of the Realm. Very short post show because, like I said, we got raid in a few minutes. So we'll see you next week. And until then, take care.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. Nice, reasonably length show.